Alright class, who can tell me the answer to this question?
God, he's so nonchalant even when raising his hand.
Go on, Jimmy.
Abraham Lincoln.
He's so smart without even trying. Jimmy, this is algebra.
Type shit.
I want to be like him when I'm older.
Oh my god, he's so nonchalant.
I want to have his kids.
Jimmy, I'm calling in your mom and dad.
You're doing too much. Wait, don't call my parents. My mom's really strict.
He's a fake. He's just an old loser like me.
Get him.
Welcome to the side of the internet that sleeps late. Today we're talking about something that's slowly killing all of our vibes. The nonchalant epidemic.
Hey, this is what I like right here.
There used to be a time when something was funny, you could, laugh. But nowadays the maximum you can do when something's funny is breathe through your nose. Just a little harder. You get the idea. It's like Gen Z collectively decided that feelings were for the weak and being nonchalant was the only way to attract people and be the main character in life. But actually being nonchalant is quite complex. I fell down this rabbit hole on TikTok a couple weeks ago and turns out I've been doing everything wrong.
One, stop hanging out with your friends / acquaintances all the time, bro. When you hang out with your friends / acquaintances all the time, it shows that you cannot be alone. You're not okay with being alone. If you're bored, be bored, bro, but just stop trying to find entertainment in other people. When you're not okay with being alone, bro, you just can never be satisfied with, going out by yourself or hanging out by yourself or, watching TV by yourself.
Hold on, let me go cancel my plans with my friends. I had a holiday booked with them, but I think it's better if I just stay at home, watch TV all alone. In fact, let me just cut them off entirely. They're holding me back from being nonchalant.
How to become nonchalant. Only speak when spoken to. Now, as a man, you should not be outgoing anyway, unless you know these people.
He's right. As a man, I shouldn't be outgoing. It's a good thing I'm staying home and watching TV instead.
I don't know no man on this planet that'll just go walk up to a group of boys and be like, yo, what's up, y'all boys? You know why? Because of ego. And you know they're gonna be like, yo, who is this?
Alright, this guy clearly hasn't come across an extrovert in his life. I absolutely had a phase during university where I was going up to people and talking to them. I mean, that's the whole idea of getting to know someone, right? Especially at the beginning of university. Could you imagine a world where everyone only speaks when spoken to?
I need to ask where the milk is.
Only speak when spoken to. Don't react even if it's something serious.
Just the other day, my ex-friend, since I cut him off, told me his dog died. I felt sad and I showed him empathy. I should have just kept a blank face and not reacted at all.
Number 2, act like you don't care even if you do. Sometimes, not everything needs a reaction.
See, this one is a classic I see in every single tutorial on how to be nonchalant. I have to not care even when I do care. TJ, your cat just got run over. Say less. Also, I took your car out this morning and I crashed it. Crazy. Also, the results are in and you are not the father. Wait, seriously?
Let's go.
Aha, I knew you weren't nonchalant. Loser. Okay, but seriously, what kind of world are we trying to live in where no one shows emotions? That would be such a boring and depressing world.
Never explain yourself more than once. At the end of the day, when you explain yourself, you already explained how you feel. You don't need to tell them twice.
Well, I'll try and apply that to the real world now. Alright buddy, listen, you seem like a nice guy. I feel like you've been telling us the truth. Now just do us a favor and explain the entire situation one more time. We can make a record of it and let you go free. I don't explain myself twice. Genuinely, this stuff is just silly. You know what's more nonchalant than anything? Not doing too much. And this right here was doing too much. And you may have realized that for these different steps on how to be nonchalant, I've been switching videos. That's because everyone's giving the same advice. Sometimes the same people giving the same advice over and over again. There must be like a set guide on how to be nonchalant that I just don't know about. But I did find some wildcard entries on how to be nonchalant or how to know if you are nonchalant.
3 signs that you is OD nonchalant, gang. Is if when it comes to a relationship, gang, you don't really set too many boundaries for real. Really just let your girl do what she wants, my nigga. Because when you just sit back and observe your girl, you'll be able to really just sit back and see if your girl's a bop.
My brother, this isn't the Hunger Games where you're spectating all the contestants. A real relationship requires nurturing and communication. Some people are so far down this rabbit hole that they think being nonchalant is the only reason they're getting any attention. This guy stopped being nonchalant for one day, turning off his superpowers, taking off the Superman suit for one day and becoming Clark Kent. And according to him, his girl was too busy for him now. Now this guy's got the right idea on how to be nonchalant. He's so nonchalant that he didn't even finish the video. At least this guy's advice on being nonchalant was original though, right?
Number 3, you don't set boundaries in relationships.
Oh, never mind. This sense of emotional detachment looks fine on the surface, but it's slowly sucking the life out of life. Everyone wants to have a monotone voice with it is what it is energy. And let's be clear, calmness isn't the issue. The issue is treating empathy and having feelings as a red flag in general. And it's not a phase anymore. Some people are really turning this into a lifestyle now. But let me hold your hand when I say this. When everyone's busy pretending not to care, there'll be no one left to care about anything, including you. But pretending not to care isn't something new. Remember when being a teenager meant just saying whatever to everything? Obviously back then our parents would cure that problem really quick. I mean, my phase didn't last long at all after I said whatever to my mum. I still get PTSD. But what's changed is that some people never grow out of it anymore. The internet is a breeding ground for this pandemic. Show emotion online and you're suddenly labeled cringe. I mean, social media is just full of people not being happy with your happiness, so this stuff fits right in. Creators like Duke Dennis have popularized this lifestyle. If you've been unemployed for any period of your life like me, then you'll know who Duke Dennis is.
You always getting full. What the hell are you talking about, bro?
Don't get me wrong, Duke's got charisma, but his brand of just constantly being unbothered by everything has become a template for millions of people to act, you guessed it, nonchalant. Now everyone wants to walk around like NPCs, pretending to be unbothered and unfazed by everything. Because you know what's worse than caring? Being seen caring.
What you been doing today? Why? I'm asking you what you did today, bro.
Say it like in a better, cooler sounding way.
As per the professor of nonchalance, to be nonchalant, you have to pretend not to care about anything, even if someone's asking you a basic question. How was your day? You don't answer. You maintain that mysterious persona that you have. Unless you're asked in a cooler way. How's your day? Gen Z's fear of being cringe or doing too much has created this weird paradox. They care so much about not caring that it's all they care about. Being nonchalant has become their defense mechanism, but what are we defending ourselves from? Being human? Don't just take it from me. Teachers are saying that more and more children are showing up to school not caring about anything and being What's wrong with this? Everyone's entitled to do what they want and be what they want. And you're right, but there are two things wrong with this. There's more, but I've got two in my hand. Number one, it's not who they want to be, it's who they're having to be for the sake of fitting in. Think about your time at school. When something was popular at school, you try and get with the trends to fit in. And the second thing is, when everyone becomes unexcited about everything, then life becomes so boring and depressing that it takes away from the whole essence of humanity. Okay, I'm getting dramatic, but this is a YouTube video. Who cares? Vibing to your favorite music, getting excited about a new movie coming out, or just being happy about completing a game that you wanted to finish for a long time. These are all feelings that we used to cherish. Or at least in private even. But now the world seems to label these as doing too much. Gen Z have started complaining about how hard it's become to hang around with nonchalant people.
You know who doesn't want to work with a nonchalant dreadhead? Me, I don't. Guys or girls, why are you so emotionless? You know, just be chalant. Please. Especially dudes who are nonchalant with me, like I am not the fucking hose. You are not giving me the ick by caring about life. Just be yourself. You are not Central C. You are not Duke Dennis.
I mean, that pretty much sums up how guys feel about other guys acting nonchalant, especially when it's out of nowhere. Imagine your friend Ryan, the goofiest, funniest, and nicest person around, just suddenly stops caring about everything. The usual assumption is that something's gone wrong and you should go check up on him. But nowadays you have to second guess yourself that he may just be acting nonchalant.
Every friend group got that one nonchalant homie. Every time the friend group tries to make plans, this motherfucker replies with, okay, I'll see, maybe. Like he doing us some sort of favor by coming out and hanging out with us.
Maybe he took the advice of how to be nonchalant from the earlier guys. In all seriousness, there are people out there that truly switch up on all their friends for the sake of creating this fake persona of being nonchalant.
I could be asking this motherfucker a basic question like, how's your day been? And he'll reply on some fuckboy shit like, yo, why are you asking me that? That's mad federal, dog.
There's that Duke Dennis effect. At least this stuff is only affecting friendships and not relationships though.
I need to know why so many men are so nonchalant that it literally hurts. They only give you one word answer to text, and the way that they talk to you just shows that they literally couldn't care less.
Well, I spoke too soon. Turns out that in the short term, women can get attracted to nonchalant guys, but in the long term, they may seem to regret it. Wait, hold on. You don't believe that women are attracted to nonchalant guys? Well, this guy seems to believe so.
Being nonchalant attracts girls. Being unaffected by the world is attractive because it shows strength. So if she says yes to a date or pokes a little fun at you, don't make it a big deal. The less emotional you are, the better off you'll be.
So much for being excited. Now when the woman of my dream says yes to a date, then I'll just sit back and relax. In fact, I'll just show up late and not even care about the date. I'm sure that'll get me a second one.
How do you know if you've got a nonchalant boyfriend? Number one, he doesn't reply. He's leaving you undelivered, maybe even leaving you on red, but he's not replying. He doesn't really care about if you've got some achievement or some bad thing happening in life. He doesn't care. What do you want for dinner? I don't care. Nonchalant.
I'm sure this video is satire, and if it is, then fair enough. Funny video, but if it's not, that's not a nonchalant boyfriend. I think that's just a bad boyfriend.
So he won't be having conversations with you about deep things like feelings, your future together, anything like that. He just does not want to engage with anything too deep.
If he's not talking about the future or your feelings, maybe he doesn't see you in his future.
He's just not that interested in anything to do with you. Like, doesn't care about your life, doesn't care about what's going on for you, nothing. He just doesn't care.
You know what? This one I can get on board with, because next time a woman says she's not interested in me, I'll just say she's being nonchalant. Listen guys, being nonchalant is your choice. If you want to do it, do it. But don't jeopardize your friendships and relationships for the sake of it, because the very persona that's supposed to make you mysterious and attractive ends up making you isolated. So why is it happening in the first place? Why are people wanting to act nonchalant? One reason could be to be more defensive. If you don't show emotions, you don't let people in, you don't get judged. You're not a boring person, you don't do too much, you don't really do anything from the other person's perspective. The other is usually wanting to be accepted. From the majority of what I found online on why people actually become nonchalant, it always went along the lines of, I was a chalant person, I was nice, I was kind, I was doing all of this sort of stuff, and the world mistreated me, they took advantage of me. That's when my inner nonchalant persona came out. Okay, that's too much, but you get the idea. Social media doesn't help either, where if you're doing too much or you just show excitement, then people will call you out in the comments saying you're doing too much. And the same social media will reward you if you do nothing and show no emotions, and say that you've got aura points. Now you may be wondering, what is aura? And let me tell you, my friend, if you don't know what aura is, you just lost some aura. This is why I'm alone. It's all I see on my feed nowadays. People gaining aura, farming aura, and sometimes even losing aura. It must be some sort of currency, right? No, it's the energy you give off. Well, according to Google, it's more so the atmosphere you create by just existing. More aura means you're more cool. Less aura means you're less cool. If you have enough aura, you start attracting people naturally. Okay, maybe that wasn't the best clip for attracting someone with your aura, but you get the idea.
You can feel when somebody's happy, mad, confident, weak, etc. based off their aura.
You know what? That actually makes sense. The whole point of aura must be to tell what someone's feeling, like expressions. That person right there is stressed. How do you know? I can tell from his aura. You mean from his expressions? Nah, his aura. It's gotten to a point that people think having aura is a straight up superpower. Wait till these guys find out how much aura I get from just holding an umbrella. So like many of you out there, I realized I was aura-less, and I wanted to get some aura. So I went out looking for answers.
Just aura farm. Everywhere you go, just aura farm. Even when you're just stepping outside your house, just act like there's cameras following you, like you're looking down across the world.
Okay, this video was actually quite sensible, to be fair. It puts a weird tag on confidence, but I'm not mad at it. Guys, maybe all of us can get aura.
Number 1, in a group setting, don't say anything. Having that mystery around your name and nobody knowing anything about you just inherently is intriguing to human beings. So for every 100 words that the group says, you'll say like 10.
Guess not, we're back at stage 1. My question is, what happens when everyone in the group is trying to farm aura? That's what I'm saying, cats are amazing. They're so sweet and fluffy and like kind. Oh, and let's not forget about dogs. I love dogs just as much, you know? I just have to wait for the right time. Okay, that's 100 words. Like the video and subscribe to TJ Sleeps Late. Oh no, that was 11 words. I just lost my aura.
If you're going to like a basketball game or a football game or something, keep your head down. When you keep your head down and just put your hands in your pockets, just walk away like this, you know, look to the football field or the basketball court, walk up the stairs, head down and everything, that's aura farming right there. That's elite aura farming. They're gonna be like, damn, like, who the fuck this nigga think he is? He's hella nonchalant, hella mysterious. Damn, what the fuck? I wish I was like him.
My brother. If I'm going to a basketball or football game, I'm going to look at what I've paid to watch. What's the point in buying tickets for a game where all I'm going to do is look at the ground? I don't know whether that's aura farming or just wasting money and brain cells. He talks about how people will be looking at you and calling you mysterious. From my past experience as a kid, I can assure you 9 out of 10 times no one cares what you're doing. They're more likely to just stare at you and say, what's that guy doing? He's missing out on the game. Genuinely, I now realize the best way to gain aura and be nonchalant is to stop caring about it. Instead, being myself is how I gain aura, and somehow the most nonchalant thing I can do. This sounded like one of those movie endings. Maybe the aura was the friends we made along the way. Okay, final disclaimer. In all seriousness, there are people out there whose kindness is taken advantage of, and they turn to this side of the internet and try and act nonchalant. But my advice would be, don't let other people's opinions affect you and your personality, because the most nonchalant thing you can do is be yourself. What even is this video, man? I swear, I've put myself through this torture for like 10 people to watch this video, but I appreciate you 10 people. If you watched to this point of the videos, comment, you're cooked. Because that's what I am, honestly. Wonder how many aura points I lose for asking you to subscribe and like the video?